Brad, looking at the 23 recruiting class, Connor Liu, the last commit about a week ago, not even, August 15th. And so we've got the 9th rated class according to the 247 rankings with 17 hard commits. What's the latest brewing there?
Yeah, man. The second wave of what the coaching staff has been naming it. Hopefully we'll be starting here shortly. But you got some big name targets that Miami's still going after. Obviously, when you look at the offensive line position, you still got Samson Pancake Kanula, who is one of the top tackles in the nation. When you turn on his tape, I mean, he's a future first round pick, similar to Francis Maigoa. And these are two guys who have been talking, off air a lot, whether it's football related or Miami Hurricane related. Those two guys have a very good relationship. It seems to be a Miami Hurricane Michigan State battle with him right now. Who knows if Alabama gets in the mix, but I have a feeling that Bama may be going towards Monroe Freeling, who's also another target Miami is going after. But I think Sampson, if you could land a guy in Sampson and pair him with Francis Magoa, you got potentially the top two tackles in the nation on the same recruiting class. So that's looking good for Miami. And then as we know, a lot of high school football games were played yesterday. And the biggest game to watch, just as far as a recruiting aspect, was the IMG First Venice game yesterday. It wasn't much of a football game, unfortunately. IMG kind of blew out Venice very early in the game. But, there was about 8 to 10 Miami Hurricane either commits or future targets in that football game. And, after the football game, Damon Wilson, who's a 5-star defensive end out of Venice, was getting a lot of to the U comments from a lot of the IMG players. I believe 6 is what Gabby Urrutia from 24/7 reported, that I believe 6 IMG players was pretty much like, hey, man, Damon Wilson, you need to come to the U. So there was a lot of recruiting for Miami Hurricanes going on. You had Samuel Mpimba, who was another, top defensive end target that Miami's going after. It seems to be a Miami-Georgia battle for him at the moment. He was a standout player along with, Jaden Wayne, who just transferred from Washington to IMG. He was a standout player as well, who's a Miami Hurricane commit. And then you had Antonio Tripp, who transferred as well. He was only at IMG for 12 days, is I believe what he tweeted yesterday. He's been at IMG for 12 days and ended up starting on the offensive line and played very well. Him and Francis Maigoa seemed to be a great little duo right there on the offensive line. And you had some, 2024 guys that Miami's going after that played extremely well, whether that's Jarrett Gibson, running back, that's, between Georgia, Florida, and Miami at the moment. And then Ernest Willer, 2024 defensive end. He's a high 4-star. I believe he's going to be one of the top-rated guys in the nation when it's all said and done. He had a bunch of tremendous plays. He had a pick 6 at defensive end as a junior, yesterday, and it looked very, very great out there. That's another name to watch. And Desmond Ricks as well, 2024 corner. So just that name alone, I named about 8 to 9 guys that Miami's all going after, and these are all top players at their position groups, Mark. So that was, one game. You also had Damari Brown at American Heritage, who is a cornerback Miami's going after. He recently said that he will be official visiting Miami September 23rd. So that's good news for Miami. And then Jaylen Brown, there's a bunch of guys that Miami Hurricanes are still in contact with that are committed to other schools, like Jaylen Brown, who expressed the other day that even though he is an LSU commit, Miami Hurricanes is still talking to him on a daily, weekly basis. Same thing with Mark Fletcher, as we know, one of the top running back in the nation in the 2023 class here. He's currently committed to the Ohio State Buckeyes, but Miami Hurricanes are in contact with him on a daily basis, like he said. And that's a place that he puts, close to the vest. He knows that the Miami Hurricanes are right there behind him every step of the way. And that's a name to watch out for, in my opinion, is the Mark Fletcher scenario. I know he's Ohio State Buckeye commit, but if Miami can do their job on the football field this year and win football games and be one of the top ACC teams that we all expect them to be this year, he's going to be one of the big names that I think Miami needs to look out for.
We appreciate Super Chats coming in from Leon Hurricanes. Thank you so much for that, Leon. Go Canes. And Ramon Rodriguez, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate the support right there. Get on over to Canes Insight. We got Brad Tejeda on the line. Does amazing work. We get Brad on here as much as we possibly can. Brad's got a ton going on. And again, Canes Insight needs to be a destination for all you Miami fans. So get there on a regular basis. 17 hard commits. Do we expect that to be the typical 22-23 when it's all said and done?
You know, it's going to be tough because I think, again, it all comes down to the football season, in my opinion, Mark. I think there's going to be a lot of guys in play late in the game, whether it's because they're the 5-star caliber guy that's going to just wait till the end of the recruiting cycle to make his decision, or, again, going back to some guys that are currently committed to other programs where all they want to see is Miami prove it on the football field, where if they beat a Texas A&M, if they beat a Clemson Tigers, those are going to be the tipping point games that could get you a Hakeem Williams or you know, a Jordan Hall or a Deshaun Johnson cornerback position, you know, a Damon Wilson, even an Andy Jean, who is obviously a commit to the Florida Gators right now. These are all guys that I think once the football season is played, if we get our job done and we do the right things, I think we're in play for a lot of guys. And I didn't even mention Jerrion Dickey, who is one of the top wide receivers in the nation, who I believe Miami is in a very good spot for at the moment, even though he's an Oregon Duck commit and Oregon Duck fans seem very confident, along with Jerrion Dickey, you know, saying all the right things when he is getting interviewed on Oregon, which he should. I think as long as Miami does what they need to do, there's going to be a lot of big-time players that can add to that class. And I think you could potentially get, you know, to that 28 mark if Miami does everything they're supposed to do on the football field. I think at the end of the day, you have to win football games. That's what's going to create the second wave, as we call it, to be a tremendous, huge effect for the Miami Hurricane program moving forward. Because when you look at that 2024 class, you're already in very good shape for some of the top players at their positions in the nation and also in your backyard. You got JoJo Trader and Jeremiah Smith, 2 wide receivers locally here in Miami, you know, that are obviously huge Miami Hurricane leans at the moment, whether it's Miami Hurricanes or Ohio State. And then you got TJ Capers, who's the top linebacker in the nation, you know, right out of Christopher Columbus. So you obviously got multiple coaches on the staff that are tied to that situation as well. So you feel very confident with some of the relationships that you have already built and continue to build, that as long as this translates into wins, a lot of this stuff is going to come very easy.